Okay, listeners, buckle up.
Yeah, get ready.
We're about to take a deep dive into some seriously radical innovation strategies.
And I mean radical.
Think straight from the minds of, well, Alien.
From Planet Z, to be exact.
That's right. Our source material today is a guidebook,
You could say it's like a lonely planet, but, for Planet Z.
and it's packed with these, well, almost unbelievable strategies for like shattering the limits of what we think is possible.
Because Planet Z, let me tell you, they are done, completely done with small thinking.
Like over it.
Yeah, they are all about big, bold moves, the kind that make even like the most cutting edge Earth tech look a little, how should I put it?
Quaint.
Yeah, quite.
But the best part is you, our listeners, you get exclusive access to this alien perspective.
That's right. Consider it like a sneak peek into a whole different universe of innovation.
A universe where disruption isn't just a buzzword, it's like their daily mantra.
It really is.
So, are you ready to unlock some of that Planet Z magic?
Because the first thing they want us to wrap our heads around is this idea of a blue ocean strategy. Imagine like a vast, wide open ocean, untouched, full of possibilities.
Sounds a lot better than a red ocean, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's for sure.
You know, where everyone's fighting over the same scraps, like metaphorical sharks in a feeding frenzy.
Exactly. And they actually use the example of Blockbuster and Netflix.
Oh, perfect example.
Right. Blockbuster, they were stuck in that red ocean, battling over late fees and DVD shelf space.
While Netflix was like, see ya.
Exactly. Netflix saw that blue ocean. They were like, forget DVDs. We're beaming entertainment straight to you.
Created a whole new category.
Exactly. A whole new demand and, completely disrupted the industry.
And now we can barely remember the last time we even saw a DVD.
Exactly. Exactly.
So it makes you wonder, what red oceans are we still, swimming in today? And more importantly, what blue oceans are out there just waiting to be discovered?
It is exciting to think of. And that's the cool thing about this whole Planet Z perspective, It forces us to step back and look at our own world with fresh eyes.
To question everything.
Yeah.
So how can we, our listeners, how can we find our own blue ocean? Like, do we need to build a spaceship?
Well, luckily, our Planet Z friends, they gave us a kind of roadmap.
Okay, lay it on us.
So step one, and get this, they say, stop focusing on your competition.
Wait, hold on. Stop looking at the competition. Seriously.
Seriously. That's their advice.
But isn't that like Innovation 101? Know your rivals.
Yeah, here on Earth, maybe.
Yeah.
But Planet Z, they're like, think bigger.
Okay.
They want us to shift our focus. So instead of trying to, just edge out the competition in the same old tired red ocean,
Right.
they're saying, look for those hidden needs, the unmet desires, the things everyone else is just ignoring.
Interesting.
That's where you find your blue ocean.
So not like a slightly better smartphone camera. It's more about like a whole new way to connect with people.
Exactly. Like, what are the pain points in your world,
Yeah,
in your industry? What are people just putting up with because they think there's no other way?
I like that.
That's where the real innovation is.
Yeah.
Not just making something a little bit better,
Yeah.
but creating a whole new solution to a problem nobody's even properly addressed yet.
Okay, so how do we do that? Do we need some kind of like alien tech to figure out these hidden needs?
Well, Planet Z, they call it, get this, first principles thinking.
First principles thinking.
Yeah.
Is that like advanced alien calculus? Because I'm not sure I'm qualified.
No. Don't worry. It's actually pretty simple. The book uses the example of Elon Musk,
Okay.
SpaceX, right?
Right.
So instead of just building, like a slightly better rocket, which is what everyone else was doing,
Right.
he's like, why are rockets so expensive in the first place?
Good question. They are.
Exactly. So he breaks it all down, right? Like
Right.
raw materials, manufacturing, fundamental physics.
Really getting down to the basics.
And he realizes a lot of it is just outdated and inefficient.
Oh, interesting.
So he rebuilds the whole process from the ground up, challenges every assumption.
And bam. Reusable rockets.
Exactly.
Space travel gets a whole lot cheaper. Okay, but that's Elon Musk. He's got, rocket scientists. What about those of us just trying to survive our inboxes every day? How does this whole first principles thing, how does that help us?
It's about applying that same thinking, but to any problem. Like, let's say, unproductive meetings. Everyone's got those, right?
The worst.
Instead of just accepting it, what if we apply some first principles thinking to the whole meeting thing?
Okay, so instead of complaining about back-to-back meetings, I should be like, what's the fundamental purpose of a meeting?
Exactly. Like, what are you actually trying to accomplish? Do you need to be there in person? What's essential?
Right, right.
By challenging that's how it's always been done mentality,
Yeah.
you suddenly open up a ton of possibilities.
Okay, so we've got our blue ocean, we're thinking first principles, time to like shake things up, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that where disruptive innovation comes in?
Exactly. And this is a big one because Planet Z really wants us to understand disruptive innovation. It's not about being flashy.
Okay, good to know.
It's strategic. It's about often focusing on the customers that the big players are just completely ignoring.
It's like that part in the guide where they're talking about transportation on Planet Z.
Yeah, yeah. Tell me about it.
Well, everyone's focused on like hover limousines for the super rich.
Oh, yeah, those
What's
things.
that? Someone's building like affordable self-driving pods for everyday commuters.
Exactly. And those commuters, they're psyched. They ditch their old gas guzzlers. They're like, sign me up for convenient and affordable, even if it's not, super fancy at first.
But I bet those little pods, they probably ended up changing the whole game, right?
Yeah, oh, totally. Started small, focused on an underserved market, and boom, they disrupt the whole system. So think about it. What's the luxury solution everyone's chasing in your world? And who are they leaving behind? Because that's your disruption opportunity right there.
All right, listeners, this is a light bulb moment. Let that one sink in. But get ready, because now we're going deep, deep. Planet Z style. We're talking about 10x thinking, moonshots,
This is where we go beyond those baby steps and we aim for tenfold transformation.
10 times, like 1,000%. That sounds, I don't know, a little far-fetched, even for Planet Z.
I know, right? But that's how they roll. It's about aiming for these massive leaps forward. Remember we were talking about self-driving cars?
Yeah, felt like a lifetime ago.
A few decades ago, that was pure sci-fi. Impossible.
Now I've got teenagers telling me they're self-driving cars like, so yesterday.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But back then, companies like Google, they dared to ask, what if car accidents were a thing of the past, like completely gone?
Wow.
That ambition, it seemed crazy, but it sparked this wave of innovation that's still going.
So instead of trying to make a car that gets like 10% better gas mileage, we should be thinking about a future where we don't even need to own cars.
Exactly. It's about shifting that mindset from what's a little better to what would be game changing. You got to think bigger, bolder.
That's honestly a little scary. Any advice for, us regular Earth dwellers on how to even begin to think that way, this 10x thinking thing?
Well, in the Planet Z guidebook, they have this exercise. Imagine you're writing the next chapter, right? The Earthling edition. What impossible dream would you challenge everyone to go after? What big problem, no matter how huge, would you want to solve?
Interesting.
Write it down. No limits.
Okay, let's say I've got my impossible dream written down. What's next?
Now break it down. What has to happen to make that a reality? New tech, crazy collaborations, a whole new way of thinking about the problem.
So this is where it gets really alien, I think. Like Planet Z, they just move so fast. They call it, was it lean disruption?
Yeah, lean disruption. Basically, it's combining that lean startup approach, building something basic, testing it out, quickly making changes, but with that big, bold 10x vision.
Like in the guide, they talk about their version of Airbnb.
Oh, right.
They didn't start with some fancy platform. They were like, will someone even rent out a room in my spaceship?
It's brilliant. Test the idea. Don't get bogged down in the details. Just start doing.
And on top of that, they've got all this like exponential tech. It's like they're living in the future.
Seriously. AI, biotech, things we haven't even imagined. And it's all evolving at warp speed.
It's almost too much to take in,
That's a lot. But imagine if we could harness that, right? What if instead of being afraid of it, we use those technologies to actually solve problems?
That would be something.
Totally.
Hmm.
And that leads us to, I think, the most alien idea of all. Open innovation. On Planet Z, they're all about collaboration, massive collaboration.
Their whole planet is like one giant think tank, it seems like.
Pretty much. They're sharing ideas, working together across disciplines, even collaborating with other planets. I mean, come on.
That's next level.
It makes you realize, right? We get so stuck in our ways, competing with each other, hoarding our ideas.
Yeah, it's true.
Planet Z is like, what if we work together instead? Imagine what we could accomplish.
So as we come to the end of our deep dive into the mind of Planet Z, what's the one big takeaway you want our listeners to walk away with?
Challenge everything. Think
Yeah.
bigger. And never underestimate the power of collaboration.
It's like our alien friends are saying, the future is not something that just happens. We get to invent it. And you know what? I think they might be onto something. Until next time, keep exploring those blue oceans.